Welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf, and this is what's in my toolbox, the series where I show you the tools I use to repair cars and fix things. So let's find out what's in my toolbox today. And in this instalment, we have the Spurtar Universal Sockets. This was a viewer request, so Jason requested me to test these out. Well, his sockets like these out. So I've got two here in the twin pack. They come in this little box here, pretty handy. Just a quick look at some of the different types of fasteners you can do. I've got a few tests to show you as well, a few bits I've been using on them. And yeah, so we've got a 1/2 inch drive and a 3/8 inch drive. They come with these little 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch and 3/8 adapters. They seem fairly solid. And yeah, these are universal sockets, so they're designed for fitting any size fastener. So for instance, we've got this one here. They slide in like that. And then you grip any size socket. This one here does, as I say on it, 7 to 19, and this one does 11 to 32. They're quite big, they're fairly hefty as well. And I know that some places market these as Saviour sockets for getting off all sorts of different things. I've actually taken a locking the wheel nut off with one of these. Not a spilling type, but a normal type. I'll show you a bit of footage of that in a moment. I've got a few demonstrations to show you. So first of all, let's move the big one out of the way. It's quite heavy. So the first use for these that springs to mind is when you're trying to tighten down these little clamps on these locking clamps, locking pliers, should I say. You can easily do that with this. You pop it on, get a nice spot, and then you can tighten it down, which means you get a lot more grip than you'd normally get. You know, it's fairly tight, just like this by hand, admittingly. Yeah, gives you a bit of extra leverage on these sort of things, which is pretty good. Save you putting a hex on the end of it. You literally just use one of these to do that. That's no use. They've got these little springs inside them, as we mentioned. So this one I've used more than the other one. The other one's a bit easier to see on camera, so I'll get that. They've got these little spring-loaded pins, and they adapt to any shape of fastener you put in it. So you can use them for, like I said on the box, for wing nuts and other variations. You can even use them for 1/4 inch hexes if you want. So in this clamp I've got a partially rounded fastener, not overly rounded, but it is partially rounded, and it's in there fairly tight. So let's quickly grab this and try and break it loose. There we are. Yeah, these work up fairly well. Sometimes the pins do get stuck and you have to give it a tap to get them back up. You run the rest of the way by your hand. Don't really need this now. Yeah, it's not overly rounded, but I can see if I can get a good look at that on the camera. The light won't be helping me. Yeah, on the corners you can see. It's not quite square as it should be. And yeah, we grabbed these really well, so it's pretty good. But yes, as a useful feature, you can use them for getting some round your fasteners. Obviously, depends how round it is, and the durability of these is questionable. The springs may get damaged after a while, but as a one-off to get stuff off, it's pretty handy. Like I said, I'll show you the footage of the locking wheel nut in just a moment, and the lug nut off the car as well. This little socket did both those. We'll have a break about. So just quickly before we move on to the other demonstration footage I've got for you, I just wanted to quickly show you the one drawback to these spring-loaded sockets, which is a major drawback in my opinion, is because they've got the springs in them, you can't get very deep inside the actual socket itself. So like as far as that one can go in, so not very far at all. And with the bigger one it's the same, or slightly deeper obviously, but obviously you've got a stud or a bolt at the end of a stud that you need to get to. It's about as far down as you can get it, which is the only type drawback to this design spring socket. So here we go with a bit of footage now. So this is a 17mm lug nut on here, and we've got the socket on it. So we're using the smaller of the two sockets here because the big one won't fit in the gap. So 17mm is almost at the top of the range you can do. It starts at 19, but as you can see it's broken it loose fairly easily. And now to get it out, I was trying to use my hand to get it out, but unfortunately it wouldn't do that, and the socket's stuck on. So quickly just put the bracket back on, the breaker bar back on, should I say. And yeah, we'll muck around a bit, and then we'll just work it all the way out. The bolt did get stuck in the socket, we'll see that in just a second. But yeah, I just run it out quickly, but it has actually broken it loose, which is really quite handy. Which really surprised me because again these are fairly tight lug nuts. As you can see, there's the bolt. And as you can see, there's the branding on the socket to prove that it's the right socket. As you can see some of the pins in there. Now we're going to do a locking wheel nut. So it's just down the bottom here. And what we're going to do is just line it up. Because of the springs, you do have to push it in to hold it in place while you're doing this. Once you get it in the right place, you can break it loose relatively easily. Again, there we go. It's all gone now. Yeah, it spins relatively easily. Remember, this is a 2-foot breaker bar I'm using on here as well, so quite a lot of torque and pressure being put through the socket itself. And I just use the socket to run out the rest of the way, a little bit further anyway. Yeah, the main key here is getting the socket lined up in the right spots. Because this is a locking security wheel nut, it's not a spinning type or anything, but it's still a locking wheel nut that requires a normal key for it. It's done really well. Got it out without getting a key. It's very handy, especially if you lost your key on this type of lug nut. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. You can see, I'll show you the head. It's a very unique design, and yeah. There we go, the socket's good as well. Before we move on to my final thoughts on these, I just want to give a quick shout out to Jason for suggesting that I try these out. If you've got any things you'd like me to try out, let me know in the comments down below and I'll do my best to get hold of them and try them out. These are quite simple to get hold of. And yeah, now moving on to my final thoughts. They are handy and they definitely have their uses. I do worry about their durability and how well they'd last, and especially in the really high pressure situations I can imagine them failing on you. But as an emergency get out of CAC, especially on like locking wheel nuts that don't spin, I can't say they're that bad. So I'm going to give them a 3-spanner rating, which is just up here as always. And yeah, overall, rather handy little socket, really did surprise me. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps both the channel and me out. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I post 2 videos a week, so by subscribing, you'll never miss a thing. Got any questions or suggestions? Drop a comment down below, and I'll do my best to reply to everyone. Here at W Repairs, we're all about helping you learn how to work on your vehicle safely and showing you don't need to spend a fortune on tools to get the job done. Want to support the channel further? Become a member, starting at just 99p. Members get perks like early access to videos and more exclusive content. Keep fixing, and I'll see you in the next one.